right, and now we'll have a welcome from Courtney's father, Chris.
All righty, good evening. I'll try to make this short since, one, I'm not a very good public speaker, and two, I have not been out. We have to be out here by 10 o'clock. So, first of all, I want to thank everyone for coming. Some of us had to travel further than others, but I think we can all agree it was worth it. This is a beautiful venue. I want to say thank you to the Carballos, Lori and Rob, for their help in putting this beautiful wedding together. And thank you both to Nick and Chelsea and all your extended family. I couldn't be more pleased with the family that Courtney is marrying into. You have all been so welcoming and so supportive to not only Courtney, but to all of us Nautheims, and we look forward to enriching that relationship even further going forward. I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to my father and Courtney's grandfather, Poppy, as he is known, as he is no longer with us. Courtney and Devin, I know he is looking down upon you, upon this wedding, with a smile on his face, and he is giving you his blessing and wish you both nothing but love and happiness. He was a special man. We miss you, Poppy. Now, on to the special couple. I really can't be more proud of these two. I really think these two complement each other. Courtney seems to be a little bit more higher strung. Yes, it's true. And Devin seems to be a little bit more stoic. I tried to find a good word for him. They work quite well together. Courtney has always said how in 8 years of dating they had never had a huge knockdown, drag-out fight. It was probably due to the fact that Devin learned early on that there's no beating Courtney or proving her wrong. There are only two people in this world that I know of that are never wrong, and that is Courtney and my sister Kim. Devin, I couldn't ask for a better son-in-law to welcome into the Nautheim family. We welcome you with open arms, and in the 8 years of dating Courtney, you have already witnessed much of the Nautheim craziness, so enter at your own risk. I really believe in divine intervention and things happening for a reason, and God having a plan, etc., etc. And for this couple to have gotten together is a perfect example. Quick story, or as quick as I can make it. As most of you know, Courtney joined the Navy right out of high school. I think she would agree with me that she knew just about nothing about what she got herself into when she joined. She called home the very few times she was allowed to call home during boot camp, crying and begging to come home, but eventually making it through and graduating. She even learned that it's possible to march in formation for miles and sleep at the same time. After boot camp, it was off to A school, where she learned her trade as an internal communications electrician. Somehow she finished first in her A-class school, and I say somehow because the Courtney I knew couldn't tell me what an electrical socket was or the difference between a standard screwdriver or a Phillips head. Anyway, after finishing top of her class, she was offered to be bumped up 2 pay grade levels in exchange for extending her enlistment by another year. And as you all know, Courtney is not one to turn down money, so she signed up for the additional year. As a side note, she was also told she had a choice of where she wanted to be stationed and what ship she wanted to be stationed on. She chose the West Coast and any ship in an aircraft carrier. Guess what? She was deployed to the Persian Gulf and onto the USS George W. Bush, an aircraft carrier. Welcome to the military. This is where the divine intervention, things happening for a reason, God's plan, etc. comes to play. When the George W. Bush returned to Virginia Beach from deployment, Courtney worked there for the next couple of years. I received a phone call from Courtney one day saying that there was a posting that the Navy was letting people out that held certain jobs that were within, I think, 6 months of their enlistment period coming to an end as well. Her job of internal communications electrician qualified for this 6 months. From her enlistment period ending, that could be a problem. As you recall, she signed up for an additional year of out of A school to jump up the pay grades. Lo and behold, when she checked, there was no record of the additional year being added, even though she had been receiving for the additional pay for the last few years. Courtney applied for the early exit, returned home in January of 2017. Guess who she meets in February of 2017? You guessed it, Devin. Had the extra year been applied, there would be no Courtney and Devin, as Courtney would be serving another year in the Navy. As we heard about 50 times during your graduation, well done, sailor. Bottom line is things, people are just meant to be. Courtney and Devin, I believe you two I believe you are two people that are just meant to be together. I love you both, and I wish you all the happiness in the world. Congratulations, and again, thank you all for coming.
If I can have your attention, please, we are now going to have a toast from the best man, Nick, and we will also have a toast from the maid of honor, Elise.
All right, good evening, everyone. Hopefully everybody can truly appreciate this environment right now, because this is absolutely amazing. So thank you, Devin and Courtney, for bringing us. Thank you, Devin and Courtney. There we go. So Devin has given like 7 or 8 of these best man speeches. And so the one person I would have asked for advice, I couldn't get it from, unfortunately. But for those of you who haven't met, my name's Nick, and I'm Devin's older brother. And we're gonna do a little housekeeping before we do anything else. So first, we need to make sure Lori's got a box of tissues, because it's about to get real emotional up in here. Where are my children? There they are. All right. Zay and Erica, you guys are responsible for any emotional outbursts coming from that table. So just keep an eye on them, please. Second order of business, I just wanted to engage the audience here for a moment and ask everybody, it's gonna be a little awkward, but I'm gonna ask you to do it anyway. Everybody just close their eyes for just a moment. All right, so what we're gonna do here is when I say go, we're gonna count to 5. We're just gonna take a deep breath in, and then we're gonna take a deep breath out. So hold on just a moment. All right, 1, 2, 3, go. Deep breath in. And exhale, nice and slowly. All right, so there's 2 reasons for that. Number 1 was just to calm my nerves a little bit. But secondly, Devin and Courtney, hopefully you could take that as an opportunity in a moment to just slow down and appreciate what's going on here. Because if there's one thing I remember about my wedding is that it goes by way, way too fast. And so I'd encourage everybody throughout the night to just slow down and take in the moment, because this truly is a rare occasion with friends and family all together in one place. So let's enjoy this time together. I want to thank Devin and Courtney for bringing us all together to such a beautiful destination, such a beautiful time of year as well. For those of you who've been out here in like July and August, it's sweltering heat, so this is absolutely beautiful. And I think we should just truly appreciate this weather that we're having. And on behalf of Devin and Courtney, I just want to thank everybody for making the trip out here, because I know a lot of people traveled a long distance to get here. I personally considered turning around about 1 hour into the car trip with my 3 kids, Kinsley, Corinne, and Rhett. But I knew I had a job to do. So as I was talking to Devin and some of the guys last night, we agreed, and I think we should all just appreciate this, that everybody arrived here safely. And I think we could take that for granted. But again, everybody traveled such a long way, and it truly is a blessing that all of us are here tonight celebrating Devin and Courtney without any major logistical issues or anything like that. So it's so great to see everybody. If you're here, there's absolutely no doubt that you've played a meaningful role in the lives of Devin and Courtney and helped them to become the people that they are today. And many of us have watched this relationship blossom from near or afar over the last 7 or 8 years. And there's still debate as to how long exactly that's been, but I'll go ahead and leave that there. But on behalf of Devin and Courtney, we do sincerely appreciate everybody being here to celebrate their big day. So almost 10 years ago, 10 years in August, roles were reversed, and Devin was delivering the best man speech at my wedding, undoubtedly delivering a much better speech than I'm giving right now, likely with 0 practice, because that's just how Devin rolls. I, on the other hand, have been sweating this for months. But that's part of Devin's charm. He knows how to stay present, go with the flow, and he doesn't let the future overwhelm him. And Courtney is likely rolling her eyes right now because the same things that we love about Devin can also drive us absolutely crazy at times. But as she put it earlier this week, his good qualities far outweigh the frustrations he can cause at times. He's as big-hearted as they come, he's easygoing, and he's a blast to be around. There's easily 7 or 8 other guys here that Devin could have asked to be the best man. And that's just the kind of relationships that Devin has with his friends. So I'm glad I could bail you out of making that tough decision, man. He reminded me last night too, and I think this is pretty awesome, how grateful he is to still have so many close friendships and relationships with the guys that he grew up with in his childhood. I mean, that's truly incredible. It really is. To have the same group of friends walk through life together for this long. And I have no doubt, just given the relationships he has, that that's going to continue for many years to come. And as I think about our childhood and some of the memories growing up together, there's really too many to count. And I was literally sitting at the pool yesterday just trying to come up with different stories, and every single one of them resulted in Devin getting hurt or injured. So let's go through a couple of those here real quick. So there's that time that we were kids and we accidentally hit that guy's car with a rock, and we had to run and hide behind the house so that guy didn't kick your ass. The time we were chased by a crazy neighbor kid with a knife. True story. The time we were having a water balloon fight and you almost decapitated yourself on a water bucket. The time that you wrecked my motorized scooter about 5 seconds into hopping onto it. It's honestly amazing that you've survived this long, but I'm glad you did, because we've just grown closer and closer over the years. And I look forward to many more memories ahead, hopefully ones that aren't a result of Devin getting injured. Devin, I love that you're such an important part of my kids' lives. They absolutely adore you, and they're so lucky to have an uncle, or a Google, as they call him, that loves them as much as you do. And I don't say it enough, but I'm so proud to call you my brother. And despite being the older sibling, I look up to you like I know you look up to me. I'm so happy for my brother that, like me, he gets to share life with someone so special, someone that has enough patience to put up with his Devinness, the grace to forgive him when he falls short, which I'm sure is seldom, Courtney, and a heart that chooses to focus on his best qualities, which there are plenty of. And that beautiful someone is the new Mrs. Courtney Carballo. Sounds weird saying that out loud for the first time. That's got a nice ring to it, actually. It sounds great. Courtney, let me first say that I'm excited to officially add another sister to the family. And I'm equally excited that my kids are gaining such an amazing aunt to look up to. For those who know Courtney, you know she enjoys cooking and baking. And for those who know my daughters, Kinsley and Corinne, you know that the way to their heart is through sweets. So needless to say, they think you're pretty great. But Courtney, you set a really high bar just over the years with some of the treats that you've made them. So you've got like another 10 years of like trying to one-up yourself. So good luck with that. Rhett, by the way, is looking forward to his first special birthday cake. He's requested a golf theme. That is his idea, by the way. It was not mine. And you've got all the way till November to work on it. So we're expecting something absolutely extraordinary. But in seriousness, while we love all the treats that you make, Courtney, we would welcome you to the family without them. We love your creative spirit, your genuine and honest nature, and your sense of humor, which, as you know, is a requirement in this family. You have to laugh at times so you don't cry. Courtney, thank you for being such a great influence in my brother's life and for helping him to become the man he is today. I sincerely couldn't have envisioned a better partner for him. You guys complement each other so well. The moment I knew it was going to work out is when you didn't run away after the pre-COVID cruise in 2020. You survived an entire week with my family on a boat. And that's truly a testament to your commitment to this relationship right there. And while you're both wonderful individuals, I think we'd all agree that you're even better together. The sum is truly greater than the parts. And I think we'd all agree that you've brought out the best in one another. Devin and Courtney, I'm so genuinely happy that you found each other. One of the things I admire most about the two of you is that you let each other be their true self, for the most part, and don't try to change one another. And believe it or not, that's a pretty rare trait, so don't lose that. I know it's said all the time, but I mean it when I say that you two are perfect together, and I don't think any of us are surprised that we're here today. And for Devin's sake, we are very relieved. So to that, let's raise a toast to the bride and groom. Here's to wishing them many happy years together, many more adventures. We love you guys. Cheers.
Good evening, everyone. For those of you that may not know me, I'm Elise, Courtney's little sister, or some might say twin. Before I dive in, I just want to give a heads up and bear with me as I try not to have a waterfall stream down my face as I give this speech. It is still crazy to me how this day is finally here. I'll never forget all the times Courtney and I would sit and go on about her wedding, about where will it be, what the dress would look like, her engagement ring, all the typical fun parts of the wedding sisters usually talk about. I remember being so excited, but never thought the day would come, and here we are. If you know and have seen Courtney and I now, you would have never known that we actually got on each other's nerves quite often when we were younger. But in my defense, it was only because I was the youngest and wanted to be just like my bigger sisters. As years passed on, we eventually shared a room in our grandmother Mimi's house, where we quickly learned that we didn't mind each other after all. A little secret that my grandmother may have not known back then was that Courtney and I learned to have a good old time upstairs in our room. Like the time Courtney making me sneak up Hershey Kisses bag that my grandmother kept downstairs in a drawer so that she could lay in her bed eating chocolate after chocolate while I painted her nails and toes, only for her to fall asleep. And it was only a matter of time before Mimi yelled upstairs yelling, "It smells like nail polish remover." Fast forward a couple more years, Courtney joined the Navy and was away for a bit. But as soon as she got out, she moved back home in with my dad and the rest of us until she found a place of her own. Our bond only grew stronger, and then before we know it, we became the sisters that everyone thought were identical twins and double the trouble. I think it's easy to say that Courtney has this unique spunk about her that is contagious for anyone who's around her. Her strong will and determined mindset is something I've always admired about her. She truly succeeds in anything she puts her mind to. It amazes me to see her creative side come out, which is usually quite often. She gets an idea in her head, creates the plan, gets it done, and somehow it turns out even better than the original idea or picture she had in mind, or most times anyway. And that's why Devin is a champ. He supports it and goes right along with it no matter how crazy it may seem. I gotta be honest, the true moment I knew Devin was the one was a year ago on our way to our cousin Chelsea's wedding. Devin had driven us down. I'll never forget it. Courtney had handed me a drink and I had said no. Oh no, I don't want to drink anything this early on. I'll have to stop and use the restroom. If you know me, I have a tendency to stop and pee quite often on road trips. And with no hesitation, Devin said, "Who cares? It's okay, we're road tripping." And that's how, with no hesitation, I knew he was the one. In all honesty, it truly brings me to tears to see how Devin is with my sister. He is everything you would want for your sister and more. He's patient, kind, he rarely gets upset, and more importantly, he somehow puts up with three crazy siblings. It makes me truly happy to watch the two of them in the moment because they both just have this natural glow and happiness with each other, and I'll never get over hearing about the impromptu dates they have. Oh. Even if that may include skipping work or the trips they go on or both talking about their 3 bad dogs. They truly are an inspiration, and I know their future is going to be truly special for them. Devin and Courtney, I'm over the moon that my dreams have finally come true. Congratulations. I love you both dearly, and cheers to forever.